Well, my name is Ricardo, and I'm working with rural communities. I'm coming from Cali, and from I grew up in Bogota, and I studied biology. And from biology, I migrated. Well, I do a lot of like research on social themes, and from biology and botanical studies, I migrate to more specifically to how communities deals with diversity, and how they domesticate in some way, how they manage to obtain what they really need from certain plants. So I deepen in that subject, and this brought me to agricultural subjects. And nowadays I'm working with rural communities in different places of Colombia, improving like the chains so that more value is added to these products that are transformed into food, and at the same time more value added from the sense that the people that are consuming these products know where are they coming, and how they are investing in something more that have more meaning than just eating, but like recovering landscapes, reconnecting with the rural and peasant communities and their cultures and their way of living, that it's quite different from what we know from this urban context, these big cities. Well, I don't know. I think since long time ago, like even the America's discovery, or as they call discovery, was motivated by this will of redesign or reorient like the 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 pathway of pepper, of canela, cinnamon. So it's like these special products that have like became like very valuable for Western culture, if we can say it like this, and that are coming from the eastern part of the world. This has motivated great cruzadas or crusades, and I don't know well how to say, but and it's only about a product that you will add into your food or into a beverage. So this is very like very ancient, this separation, if we can say. The only thing that you can say that are these are the most expensive, the farthest they are coming, and the more you are disconnected from its origins. But like nowadays, it's just that we don't grow in rural context, and we sometimes we don't know that the egg is coming from a chicken or milk coming from a cow. So it's just like very essential things that give meaning to life and make you reconnect with nature, if we can say, no? Like food is the way that you can reconnect yourself with life and nature, and this deep meaning of growing food, no? Planting a seed so that it germinates and it grows in some with all an ecosystem that will accompany and will give some strength and life to this seed and to this variety. So it's very, I think it's very, very deep and very profound to try to reconnect the rural with the urban, the life with its deep meaning that it's food. So it's a need that we have nowadays, since we have so many things happening and so many tools in the middle, technological tools that we call nowadays, that are more in digital and all kind of innovations. But in rural areas there are a lot of interesting things that are also technological, but have different paths and show us another way of innovating and creating new things and new life. So it's beautiful, no, to establish this dialogue. I think it's just also very necessary. well, I will say that just trying to reconnect the rural with the urban needs lot of innovation in some way, that like sustainability is based, or in what I'm doing actually, working with this company of crepes and waffles, sustainability is based on how we get to know ourselves better, and how from this knowing ourselves better, how we can establish a dialogue of respect, recognition, and empowerment of both sides. Both sides, it's producers associations, and a company that have a rhythm, that have some specific needs at the same time that producers have. And they have been working with the like intermediation for so long time, and knowing that the price of the food will jump or will go down in such a way that it's very like what is more demanding from these sides, from the producer sides, is to know that we can maintain specific price that is much better than the commercial one, but that they are not like waiting if they are going to harvest in the best moment, and this is quite of very lucky or tricky bet, if we can say, and also have like this payment that will last a little bit more, but will be fixed, will be trustable, and knowing from their side, knowing where this food is going, how it's going into a menu, that it's talking about the origin of the food, and quite in some way, if the consumer want to know, can even talk with the producers that are behind this arracacha, for example, in Cajamarca. And this demands like so an adaptation, no? Even from the company in their processes, and how they learn to adapt their agendas, their production calendars or agendas, and how the producer also try to improve the way he's growing food, how to use less agrochemicals or nothing at all, and even how to sustain like a production in less space, that have more value, and growing in different times, and at the same time leaving some space for regenerate ecosystems and bring life back, so that their food will be also more healthy and recover their strengths. No, these arracacha varieties will grow better in a better soil, with more care, since you are perceiving more value for each arracacha, and since the consumers will know where this is coming from. So you reconnect and you bring consciousness from the producer and from the consumer, and this is just powerful, and this needs a lot of change of mind, and this needs a lot of innovation and new technologies of how to grow food without using chemicals or agrochemicals, or we say more specifically like from synthesized products. There's a great technologically, we can say, I don't know, we are maybe misunderstanding this term, but this make me think about one thing that we are doing and we keep doing around our projects, is to give the art the tools to express like a bigger public what is happening on these territories. So we have been, like last year we did an exposition about Cajamarca, and we told all the process of the popular consultation and how the land will be transformed, and we really like try to get the essence of Cajamarca, of his people, and at the same time of Arracacha. And there was an artist that did a great painting about Arracacha, and it was just astonishing to see this great like painting of 1 square meters, just showing the greatness of Arracacha, that is a forgotten root, that it's very traditional and have been created and has its origins of domestication in the central Andes. So this is powerful, and this year we did an exposition about Tumaco, and we get to tell people how these Afro-Colombian communities are connected from the umbriel, from the center, and from long time ago with cacao. This is an indigenous heritage, but they adopted this culture of growing cacao, and they have very deep cultural meaning. So saying that we are offering like an ice cream of cacao from Tumaco, 100%, and like with a high percentage of cacao, and making all this innovation around chocolate, and bring at the same time some sweets of delicious chocolate that it doesn't have to travel from Ghana to Amsterdam, from Amsterdam to Colombia. You just have to make Tumaco, like growing cacao in some specific way with these agroforestry like principles, maybe like recovering some lands that were more dedicated to growing coca leaves, and at the same time this pathway through Popayan. Entonces cacao from Tumaco that is transformed in chocolate in Popayan, and from Popayan coming to Bogota, and trying to bring this understanding, deep understanding of how we can localize food, we can reconnect with what we are, with our diversity, not only agricultural biodiversity, but also biocultural diversity that is just great. And I think this is kind of innovation tools to improve this bridge between people and territories, Colombian territories, because at the same time we are very careful not to bring too much information to the consumer that is going to our restaurants, and we try to be very, the expression is not quiet, but at the same time very austeros, very like, try to maintain this, to sustain like the moment to eat, and when you receive the food and everything is a moment to have to be dedicated to this, and maybe too much information is not the best. So these are different tools that bring some innovations to how to exalt what we are doing and what is happening in territories, and bring voice to the peoples in territories. So this exposition was a co-creation, and was like there were like 15 artists in the Tumaco exposition, and from 15 there were like around 4 or 5 local voices telling about their culture, no? Poems and decimas, and or life stories about why cacao, why this deep feeling of belonging and feeling pride about being Afro-Colombian. So these are very important spaces to present what is happening. There's a very interesting story, if we can say, that we learned when we went to Tumaco, is that the big federation of cacao in Colombia went there and told them, we have the varieties you need, the more productive, the best varieties. And they were so conscious about the importance of the varieties that their ancestors were growing and keep living in their lands, and how these varieties were answering different questions about what is in culture and in gastronomy, local gastronomy, what is in the soil and in the climate and in the adaptation to these soils and to this land, and what is on the resistance of all the problems that can come from different how to say, from these diseases that are affecting varieties and agrobiodiversity. And since they were so conscious from from what they have, they ask people from this federation that if they show them that this cacao was better in taste, was more flavors, more aromatic, more than than the cacao, cacao's variety that they have, they will accept to incorporate these varieties in their fields. And finally, they did like the whole work, and these guys that have a lot of formation and maybe feels that they have the truth because it's coming from research and everything, they were surprised about this answer and about the demonstration they did. So nowadays they incorporated a lot of these varieties that are hybrids and that they brought from outside, but at the same time they maintain their varieties that are answering a lot of specific and local questions. So this is powerful because nowadays through this alliance that they have with the cacao hunters, that it's the one in the middle that it's transforming the cacao into chocolate in Popayan. They won like a like prime in Paris and in Japan for the quality and the specific aroma from the cacaos from Tumaco. So this is just like how the world recognizes this cultural resistance that is directly related with this maintenance of what is diversity or what is agrodiversity that it still be in the fields where they grow food. Well, I think a key bet or parry from corporations or enterprises is not to having always in mind how to maximize profit. This is very, very important. So, and how to know if they know how to share in a more just like a fair way what they call profit. They for sure they will receive back what they have planted, what they have sown, because like with the climate change and all these environmental challenges, it's very important to have deep connection and deep understanding of what is happening on the fields. And I think one big recommendation or one things that really have to happen with corporation is that they really feel part of a big body where if they really know how to dialogue and really listen what the communities are in need or what the communities have to offer or what is the local knowledge, and at the same time sharing this value and telling about what they do in some kind of way to the consumers, to the ones that are maintaining this movement, are sustaining this movement. I think that everybody will have a part. The consumer feeling that he's like investing in something that have much more meaning. The enterprise knowing that in a more conscious way and deepening way and sharing this value, they will improve their resilience and they will improve their connection with some specific products that are part of their life. No, if you are selling food, if you are processing food, you need to feel that you have persons that will prioritize your needs and that really understand what you are giving, what is the value you are giving to this food you are transforming and serving in such a way. So this is one thing that I feel it's very important, and maybe you need to communicate a little bit more between corporations that are doing things well, so that everybody gets to know and can adapt to their reality, but get this feeling that things can change and can be done in another way without sacrificing what it's important and what it's giving you life as a corporation or as an enterprise. So I think it's very important to share, and to share in a symbolical way how to communicate what you are doing, and to share in an economical way how to bring this common value. And the other member of all this conversation is nature, and I think it's just very, very important to bring nature as another element and give back to nature what we are taking from that it's needed to produce food. So I think these three elements, if enterprises, corporations knows how to share, I think this will bring life and good life to everybody, no? The consumer, the enterprise, the producer, and nature. With Cajamarca, it has been also very interesting that we start since 2 years ago. Nowadays, there's a group of farmers that are really convinced of the importance of take out of the scene like glyphosate, and they are really like improving the way they are doing agriculture, and they are really triggered by this new, yes, this like giving meaning to their food is an important how to say, something that really motivate them, but at the same time is that there's good prices in the middle, and there's many small sweets in this process, because they just feel that they have to change what they used to do and how they used to do agriculture. And it's a long walk. And nowadays, after 2 years, this one being like the second and third year of being in connection with their arracacha, with their food, they start to really like consolidate a group of farmers that are doing things different, and we have a very specific detail information about how they have been transforming their practices, and what is their motivation, their deep motivation. And it's not only about prices, it's about a deeper meaning that have to be with their connection and the love for the land that they heritated and where they are growing food. So I think it's just powerful, because we are all triggered, and they are very, very proud about what they are doing, and at the same time they are they recognize a lot the work that we have been doing from Crepes and Waffles. And it's just like as something else is that we start working with Cajamarca since we knew that they won a popular consultation where they were saying no to mining to a big company that wants, and they will want. If there are not this South African company, for sure there will be a Chinese company that will love to do big hole mining of gold. And after they did this popular consultation and the no, like saying no won, we went to these places and we start to understand what they were growing as food, and we quickly realized that it was not about looking about the menu of the restaurant and say, okay, they will have this ingredient or that ingredient, but saying, okay, arracacha is the main product of what they feel very proud. So let's bring this path of transforming how they grow arracacha. That is the main product that they grow, and they produce a lot of tons daily of arracacha. So very, very interesting to really know that if we are going to communities, if we are the ones that search for them, we have to adapt and to innovate from what they know to do and what they offer as food. And at the same time, it is very, very surprising to see all the proud and all the dignity that is there, and to be part of this long way of sustained food production in a territory that is very abundant and have a lot of food and a lot of producers. And they told themselves as La Despensa Agrícola de Colombia. I don't know how to specifically traduce, but it's like the bigger supermarket of food production in Colombia. And for real, there are very, very productive lands, and they know that, and they are very proud from that, and it's a great pleasure and a great privilege for us to show that to the country and to empower them and to show them another way of doing things and to relate to the food they produce. So it's just amazing. And at the beginning you were maybe saying, okay, this project starts here and ends here, but you understand that it's a long way and there's always new things happening into how to bring back what we are doing to nature, or how to bring more persons into the process, or how to innovate more so that more arracacha can be sold, since this is bringing more and more producers to change their agricultural practices and to connect with this context where the crepes and waffles restaurants are, that are big cities. So I think it's just amazing, and saying that arracacha is going from Cajamarca to Cali, to Medellin, to Pereira. There was also this big challenge to send it to Santa Marta, and well, here in Bogota, Bucaramanga, Villavicencio. So it's a message that have a lot of influence, and can be this story can be told in many places around Colombia. So it's just amazing that a private company, starts to feel like this invitation and this opportunity and this responsibility they have. So to bring peace, to bring dignity, and to, how to say, to strengthen our feeling of belonging to a same country, and to put in value what we really are. No, sometimes we are not very proud of what we are, but we don't. It's because we don't really know what we have. So it's just amazing that food can be like an instrument, so that these bridges can bring new meaning and deepening our understanding of what we are, and get each other to be more and more connected with what it is to be Colombian. So it's wonderful.
Thank you very much, arigato.
Arigato goza y más.